Well, the president has apparently heard the message. He did the right thing yesterday in announcing stimulus packages with regard to the coronavirus. I keep wanting to say corn virus. I don't know what the heck it is. And that's one of the things that we really need to get to the bottom of. Again, how did it start? What's it about? Who's responsible? They need to be held accountable. But the biggest thing that the president can do is to cut all the red tape of the Food and Drug Administration. As I've said, I used to represent the Food and Drug Administration when I was a Justice Department lawyer. The process for clearing drugs is much too long, particularly in this instance. And as long as some of these curative drugs that are out there, apparently in Israel, in Texas, and elsewhere, are not life-threatening, people should be allowed to take them now. That would calm down a lot of the fears. So cut the red tape at the Food and Drug Administration. Let people decide on their own whether they want to take it. Let the manufacturers make it. If there's this big push throughout this country, for a libertarian view towards drugs, whether it's marijuana or anything else, then why shouldn't people be allowed to take a drug that might help them with regard to the coronavirus, and that will calm down the fears on Wall Street and elsewhere. So that's my suggestion for today, President Trump. Good start yesterday, but keep it up. Keep the pressure on. Stay focused, okay? Don't tell the people what they want to hear. Tell them the truth and give them a remedy, and that's what's most important. Secondly, I want to talk about what's going on with bar associations in some part of this country, very liberal parts of the country, not just in the District of Columbia, where nearly everybody in the Bar Disciplinary Council has given money to Democrats, where people sit on hearing committees who are avowed communists and have thank you letters from Fidel Castro. These bar disciplinary councils in the District of Columbia trying to eliminate conservative pro-Republican lawyers from practicing. I might even say in my case, I'm not even pro-Republican, I'm nonpartisan, I'm simply a conservative. But the Philadelphia Bar Association has now instructed lawyers and judges to disobey ICE, to prevent arrests of illegal aliens, to violate the law. It's unbelievable. So when lawyers are actually advocating violating the law, then you know what kind of a mode we're in this country. We're headed into anarchy. The left is attempting to take over. And of course, Philadelphia is a particularly bad place because you have the mayor and the police commissioner persecuting officers because of their postings on their private Facebook and trying to drum them out of the police service. It's unreal, but this is what's going on in this country. It's a full court press for the left and the ultra-left to take over this country, for radical atheists, radical Muslims, radicals of the Jewish left, radicals, feminists, radicals in every sphere are banding together to seize control of this country. And when they do, all heck's going to break loose, because these people can't even get along with themselves. It's a lot like the Shiite and the Sunni Muslims. They can't get along either. So look out what's going on, and we need to now start to pay attention to what's going on with some bar associations, not all, but many in the Northeast who are frankly out of control, rabid leftists, and trying to do anything they can, not only to put a monkey wrench into the rule of law, but to eliminate conservative lawyers from the practice of law. Another issue I want to talk about is Hillary Clinton. She's looming on the horizon. Joe Biden, who is in very poor health, his so-called doctor came out with a bill of health just yesterday. This guy's about ready to collapse. If he doesn't have a major stroke, something else, then he's got the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. Well, he already has dementia, but he'll probably wind up with Alzheimer's. Before long, if he's elected president, God forbid, he'll be doing coloring books with crayons in the White House. We need to get down to the bottom of what's going on right now, because there's a push now to have Hillary Clinton inserted as the vice presidential candidate, or if there's a deadlock at the convention, to even have her as the presidential candidate. And if this coronavirus gets really bad, make no mistake about it, President Trump can lose this election. And unless he really steps up to the plate and does more than he did yesterday, stock market's rebounding just a little bit today compared to what it lost yesterday, then his presidency is in jeopardy, which means that we're all going to go down with him. We also see the continued hypocrisy of the Republican establishment, who has been threatening to investigate Hunter Biden and therefore Joe Biden on Capitol Hill. Well, we don't want to be fooled anymore. I mean, we're tired of listening to people like Sean Hannity. Even Greg Jarrett, who appears on Hannity's show now, has effectively turned against him, says nothing's going to happen in any of these cases that are before the Justice Department or anywhere else. But no sooner than some Republican hacks on Capitol Hill floated the prospect that there would be investigations of Hunter Biden and the Ukrainian bribery scandal, then a pushback was done with regard to the children of the president, Donald Trump. Well, this is mutual assured destruction. We've seen it before in Washington, D.C. I saw it during the Chinagate scandal when it was uncovered that the Clintons were taking money under the table in mass from the communist Chinese. The Democrats then pushed back with some of the things that the Republicans were doing. Everybody went away. They passed McCain-Feingold campaign finance legislation, later ruled mostly unconstitutional, and that was it. So I want people to understand that we have no government. I mean, there's very little. The only government we have is the President of the United States, and many of the people behind him are disloyal. He's not focused in many respects because the poor guy is getting slammed against the mat every step of the way. My one criticism of the president is that he has to stay away from the unsavory people that he's associated with in the past, people like Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, others. He needs to set an example for the country. He needs to act and not tweet as much. Tweeting's fine, but we want action as well. The president has been a person of action, but with regard to the coronavirus, the main thing he can do right now is to allow drug manufacturers to immediately get onto the market, even if it's experimental, as long as it's not going to kill you, remedies, medications to fight the coronavirus. That'll help not just people's frames of mind. It will not only possibly help their health, but it will also reassure financial markets, which are collapsing as we speak. And that's my message for today. It's a potpourri of different things, but it tells you why you need Freedom Watch, why you need a hard-hitting Justice Department of the people, not the sham Justice Department of the government, which is frankly worse than a joke. It's corrupt to the core. My alma mater, I'm sorry to say that, but it's corrupt to the core. Just in a few weeks, I'm going to be going into an oral argument with regard to Cliven Bundy and his sons and others. And this is the Trump Justice Department, which is continuing to politically persecute as well as prosecute the Bundy family after an Obama-appointed judge dismissed the indictment because the U.S. attorney in Nevada withheld evidence, lied to the court, and whistleblowers came forward that said there was a kill list on the heads of the Bundys. And yet, it's the Justice Department, which the president is not even in control of, and neither is the attorney general, although I don't know why he's not in control of it. He's a disgrace. Frankly, he should be forced to resign. He's just as bad as Sessions. But this is what we're dealing with. And this is why you need a Freedom Watch. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause, and share this podcast. Education is important. The American people need to know the facts of life, or death, as the case may be in the case of the coronavirus. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org. You can find it at Spotify, Patreon, Facebook, iTunes. Share it far and wide and contribute to Freedom Watch. We're the mouse that roared. We need your financial support. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America, and God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with another special edition of our daily podcast.
Here's the thing about new Cherry Vanilla Coke. Though cherry's named first, all the flavors taste just as great. I mean, it could have just as easily been Vanilla Cherry Coke, or it could have been Coke Cherry Vanilla. And since it's two amazing flavors of Coke, it might have been Coke Vanilla Cherry Coke or Cherry Vanilla Coke Coke. Unless you're in France, which would make it Le Coke de la Vanilla de la Cherry de la Crème. New Cherry Vanilla Coke, so good together. And new Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero Sugar, same great taste, zero sugar. Great taste, zero sugar.